So the iPhone 10 is about to come out on the market relatively soon, and Apple just had a live press conference demoing the iPhone 10. Now the iPhone 10 is pretty much what we expected just because we already had the leaks and rumors ahead of time, and it's kind of disappointing that we had the leaks and rumors ahead of time. Well, just because the iPhone 10 is one of the biggest Apple iPhones that we were all excited for, because this is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. Everyone was hyped and things like that, and it was a little bit disappointed when they came on stage, and we pretty much already knew everything about the phone. Other than that, it's a pretty great phone, to be honest, but there is one thing about it that they were talking about, which is a brand new feature. The new feature I'm actually talking about is the iPhone 10 does have a new feature called Face Unlock. The big thing with the iPhone 10 is Face Unlock. That's what Apple pretty much was making a big deal about when they went up on stage in the live press conference talking about it. But here's the thing you may have not noticed if you weren't paying attention. In the live press conference of the iPhone 10, they actually went to go ahead and do the live Face Unlock, and the problem is the Face Unlock did not work when they actually went up on stage and demoed the Face Unlock. He had to actually unlock the phone regularly because he had to use the backup password since the Face Unlock didn't work. And then everybody pretty much started panicking, and everyone was worried around the internet that, oh, Apple failed on the live press conference of the iPhone reveal, and this thing's not going to work, this thing's a fail, and everything like that. But you do have to realize this is a fairly new thing, the Face Unlock. No other iPhone has had Face Unlock, and I don't think many other phones had Face Unlock too, at least not the way Apple's doing it. It's supposed to be pretty cute, and Apple's really making a big deal about it, and a lot of people are making a big deal about it. I think there could be a couple things going for this thing. I think for one, maybe that this is a demo unit iPhone. You have to remember that this is probably not the same iPhone 10 that's going to be shipping sometime in November. So if you take that into consideration, this may not be a disaster after all, because this could be a demo unit. Also, you have to take in consideration the fact that they were in a studio or in a stadium, and the stadium that they were doing in the live press conference could be a different scenario. The lighting could be different, things like that. In a real life scenario, it may not be as different as well. And you got to realize as well, if this thing doesn't actually work when you get it, they could potentially just add some firmware updates. It could be the firmware acting wonky and things like that. What I think is, I think a lot of people are making a big deal out of nothing. You can't really base it off the actual live presentation of the actual Face Unlock, just because, well, that is prior to the iPhone 10 actually coming out on the market. So once the iPhone 10 actually comes out on the market, I think then if it doesn't work, then you have every right to complain, because let's face it, the iPhone 10 is close to it, or is $1,000, and depending if you get the 256 model, it'll even be more than $1,000. And if you buy a case and yada yada yada, you're probably most likely going to be over $1,000 anyway, even if you buy the base model. So then you can't complain. But honestly, if you were to ask me, I wish what Apple would have done was I wish they wouldn't have gave us Face Unlock. I mean, Face Unlock is good, or facial recognition is good, but the deal is, if you didn't know as well, Face Unlock is actually the new security measure. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that now they actually is the main security feature. No more Touch ID, so they completely scrapped Touch ID on the iPhone 10. Instead of conjunctioning it with Touch ID, they decided to just make it the prior way to unlock the phone, the face recognition. I think it's a really big statement to say that, well, we have a secure way to unlock our phones. Let's just totally scrap that and stick with face recognition. Why would they just want to stick? Why wouldn't they want to keep Touch ID in conjunction with Face ID? I know that feature is brand new, but come on, I think in my opinion, they should at least keep the Touch ID. I know Apple likes cutting features and then never bringing them back, so if they cut Touch ID on the iPhone 10, most likely they're never going to bring it back, which is kind of disappointing. Touch ID was pretty much flawless. I'm not going to say it was flawless, because I have used iPhones and sometimes my finger would be off, it would be a little bit, or maybe my finger would be gummy, maybe it would have some grease on it and things like that. So it wasn't 100% accurate, but for the most part, it was very secure. I wish Apple would have put it on the back of the phone like Samsung did, in some kind of spot, in conjunction with the whole face recognition thing. I think that would have been great, just because, let's face it, this is the first time we are getting face recognition on the iPhone 10 or any iPhone to date. So if they would have put that in conjunction, I think this would have been great. I think they're a little bit too confident in this face recognition. But another thing to point out with the whole face recognition thing that Apple was demoing on stage is the fact that if you see when they actually went to go do the face recognition on the actual live presentation, you can see right when he actually fails, he wipes his face. So what does that mean? That could mean that maybe if there's something on your face or if there's grease or something, then it may not recognize you. That's actually kind of worrying too, just because does your face always have to be clean when you're using face unlock? Another thing that kind of puzzles me too is how do you have to hold the phone? Because if you have to hold the phone right in front of your face every time you use your phone, that can be kind of disastrous as well. I'm hoping any time you look at the phone that it pretty much unlocks. They did also state that face recognition or Face ID does work when the actual phone is in the dark, so you can still access it if you're in a dark area. I'm a little bit sketchy on that part. I don't know if that's actually going to be too good. You gotta remember, this is still a Gen 1 Face ID or Face Unlock feature, which they're making too big of a deal. They're hyping this thing up when this thing could actually not be too good. But I think, again, back to what I was saying before, I think again that people are just a little bit too worried at this point just because they've seen it fail at a big event. But when it comes to these type of events, companies are prone to make mistakes and make fails on a live presentation. Nobody's perfect. And again, just wait until the iPhone comes out. That'll be your proof. If it doesn't work by then, you have every right to complain as a customer. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.